All of us hit some hard times. I've hit some hard times, and I've visited pawn shops in the past. I pawned my guitar once. I needed the money, and it was the right thing for me to do back then. I had to pay the rent, and then I was able to get my guitar back. I remember it was a really priceless Les Paul, and I needed the money, so I did it. But, you know, rich people have these problems too. And millionaires sometimes need a place to go to get some cash. And my next guest is the guy they need to go to. Joining us right here in the studio is Jordan Tabach-Bank. He's the CEO of Beverly Loan Company and New York Loan Company. And he's going to talk about pawn shops for millionaires. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, David.
First, let me understand this, all right? I'm a millionaire, say, and I've got a Rolex. You're the guy I go to?
Sure. Even millionaires have liquidity issues.
Okay.
For instance, if you're a millionaire and you need a quick loan from a bank because you need some cash for the weekend, a bank is not going to provide you with a line of credit.
Hold on a second. Hold on. If I'm a millionaire, all right, and I need cash for the weekend, I'm probably in bad shape. I mean, it's probably a bigger item than that.
Not necessarily. You might want a quiet loan. Maybe your funds are tied up in investments, or maybe there are plenty of millionaires with poor credit. We do not conduct credit checks. We do not ding credit. The collateral speaks for itself.
Now, how do you have to do any investigative work? Because somebody comes in with a Rolex, could be hot. What do you do? I mean, how do you protect yourself? The police could come in and take it away from you.
Well, first off, we're a highly regulated industry on a federal, state, and local level. So both shops, both my Beverly Hills shop and my New York City shop, are highly regulated. And less than less than 1/10 of 1% of stolen goods land in pawn shops. As far as fakes are concerned and protecting myself from fakes, I only hire the best of the best. We hire certified gemologists who graduated from GIA, who know diamonds and watches and can really identify and evaluate goods.
You know, I've seen that name in the past, and a gemologist. I love the sound. I love the sound of that. Recently, I believe it was about a week ago, there was that huge heist that we saw overseas. I can't even remember where it was.
In Cannes.
Yeah, there you go. And it was I guess it was at gunpoint. We were talking, I think it was 35 million in jewels stolen. Couldn't that trickle its way around and somehow end up at your doorstep?
You know, lucky for me, in Beverly Hills, we're in the Bank of America building on the corner of Beverly Drive and Little Santa Monica, a high-profile location on the 3rd floor. The reason we're not storefront is confidentiality and security. We have an armed guard at the door. My clientele likes the fact that they're dealing with us in private offices and it's safe and secure. In New York City, in our new location, we're in the International Gem Tower, probably the most secure building in New York City, built specifically for the gem trade.
Now, let's imagine this. I'm fantasizing because I don't have any of these things. I'm not that wealthy. But if I have something as high-end as maybe a $10 million Picasso, and that's probably a very low number, I have no idea what it's worth. Could I come to you with something so esoteric as that and try to get a loan on that? And how much would you give me on that?
Sure. Well, we will make loans against any fine jewelry, watches, fine art, entertainment, and sports memorabilia, so long as it's one-of-a-kind memorabilia. Okay. As for a Picasso, first we do our due diligence to make sure that it is indeed authentic. And then from there, well, the first thing we will always ask our customers, are you looking to sell it or get a loan against it? If they're getting a loan against it, it is a short-term, non-recourse loan, and we hold it in our vault. And of course, I'd say, how much are you looking to borrow? We never encourage our borrowers to borrow more than they absolutely need. Reason being, we want them to pick it up.
Well, if I'm borrowing money from you and I'm putting the painting there, I'm not giving you a $10 million, Picasso to hold and asking you got $100 over the weekend. I'm going to want some serious cash. What's the most I could get on a $10 million loan?
You know, for a $10 million loan, our loans typically
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. What's the most I could get on a $10 million, piece of property? We would likely loan at least half the value. Okay.
But understand, we help customers of all walks of life. We will loan as little as a couple $100, and we'll loan as much as 7 figures.
All right, so you're willing to loan all this money, and that could be very attractive, but I gotta believe the rates must be very high.
Rates, we happen to be located in lower interest rate states. But it's unfair to look at a pawn loan in terms of APR simply because it's a short-term credit product.
That APR? Could you define what that is?
Sure, that's the annual percentage rate.
Okay.
The average pawn loan is in loan for 30 days or less. So what people do is they use it as a line of credit. See, banks aren't lending to anyone at this point.
That is very true.
So they can come to us, and my customers are extremely appreciative of the service we provide. We provide short-term credit, something you can't find anywhere these days.
These people must be, I gotta believe, you're telling me, I mean, you put these pawn shops, is what they are, really. It's a place to go to get money, and you're putting them away from people to see, which is different because most of them are our storefronts, all right? So, and I get the attraction of that. If Lindsay Lohan needs a quick loan because she's got to pay a court fee or her lawyer, you're probably the perfect place to go. She's probably got some piece of memorabilia that's worth a lot of money. But these people are hitting rough times. What kind of confidence did you have that you're going to not get stuck with this thing? And it might be hard to sell a Picasso because things could be spinning out of control for these people.
Well, one thing to keep in mind, our redemption rate, and we've been in business 75 years in Beverly Hills.
75 years.
The New York operation opened because people were flying in from New York City to get loans from us because we are sort of a niche business. But one thing to keep in mind, in 75 years, our redemption rate has averaged over 90%, meaning 90% of people get their goods back.
90% of people get their goods back. All right, let me go for the money shot. What's the most outrageous, most expensive thing that's come into your shop that you've offered money on?
The most expensive thing's large GIA certified diamonds.
I want a specific one. I want to know who it was.
I'm not going to tell you who it was.
Come on.
One reason we've been in
nobody's
business
listening to
75 years. Confidentiality. Discretion has always been the cornerstone of our business.
Can you give me a dollar figure?
It's 7 figures. Seven figures on a pink diamond, one pink diamond, loose, not even sets.
All right, crew, I want you to go right to the internet, find out who pawned a pink diamond. How many people could have a pink diamond? Is that a common?
Yeah, I wish I saw more of them. If anyone out there is listening and has one, feel free to bring it in.
All right. We're going to leave it right there. It's fascinating. I hope someday I need your services.
Well, we're happy to help.
Thanks so much for being with us. That, of course, was Jordan Tabach-Bank. He's the CEO of Beverly Loan Company and New York Loan Company. And we'll see how that pans out. All right. Coming up, and still the rest of the show, don't forget, we're going to be talking to a sexologist. We're going to be talking about, should humans be monogamous? I don't know. Should humans be monogamous? What are you guys thinking there? I want a thumbs up or thumbs down. Well, you guys are really, really wishy-washy. Their wives are watching this program.